morning and Om Shanti. Welcome you all to this beautiful little paradise that's called Om Shanti Village. Today is very special. We're taking a practice that was performed in India for thousands of years that brought so much tranquility to that part of the world. It's not only a moment to practice something that is ancient, but is also to recognize a culture that has produced not just Hatha Yoga, not just Prana Yoga or Bikram Yoga, but a culture that produced a people that's sacred nature of yoga. Whether it's practiced or not practiced, it's part of the being. And even though many times when we mention the word yoga, we tend to forget the spiritual aspect of yoga itself. Because to understand the depth of any culture or any part of any culture, we need to understand the seed of it all. And there is two Hindi words that's used to understand that seed. And one is bhav, and the next one is bhavana, which is feelings and intentions. Whether we practice a physical form of yoga, we started off with these two things. One, what is our intentions? And two, what are the feelings I'm bringing with these intentions? We practice here a more spiritual form of yoga, and it's also based on these two things. Beginning, I said Om Shanti, and it is the premise for what we practice. Om means I'm a soul. And I think it's the seed of the practice of any yoga. Where am I coming from? Am I coming from outside or am I coming from within? And our practice of Raj Yoga, everything starts from within. It starts from an intention and it starts with a feeling. And if our intentions are clean and our intentions are clear, then success is easy. But if our intentions and feelings are clouded with our own ego or inhibitions, then there is some form of success, but we have failed. Because even though we experience success, there is still the need for something else. But if our intentions and our feelings are pure, there is no need for anything else. And I think that's what the ancient yoga teachers of India want us to realize. That yes, it's a practice, but always go into everything that you do with pure intentions and pure feelings. Today's is a coming together that was collaborated between the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University, the Embassy of India, and Swati International. The reason why we're playing this role in this particular sponsorship is because we recognize that yoga in 2014, when the Prime Minister of India had addressed the General Assembly and put forward the date, I think was on the 21st. The date was chosen simply because it's the longest day and it's the most auspicious. So even put forwarding a date had pure intentions and pure feelings behind it. That's why this will always be successful. And I would like to introduce to you one of our special guests from the Embassy of India. And Aditi Aditi is the Deputy Secretary for Press and Culture at the Indian Embassy here in DC. I want to give her a warm welcome and thanks for making the time to come to do this. Thank you and namaste. Om Shanti.
Namaskar. Very good morning. Dear brother Errol, Miss Antonia, Sister Jenna, who's not here today, but has taken the initiative to organize this curtain raiser, along with Swati International. Okay, and all yoga enthusiasts present over here. On June 21st, the world will come together to mark the 8th International Day of Yoga. In today's world, beset by various challenges, over 1 billion people see yoga as an enhancer of their physical, mental, spiritual, and intellectual well-being. In our fight against the challenging COVID-19 pandemic as well, critical importance of remaining fit and boosting one's natural immunity are amongst the key learnings. And yoga has been a key answer to face these challenges and to experience these benefits. The rise in lifestyle-related non-communicable diseases has also drawn many people to yoga in past many decades. People of all ages, all over the world, have experienced the benefits of yoga. Yoga and its physical, mental, emotional benefits are well known in US as well. 4.6 million strong Indian diaspora in US and hundreds of thousands of Indian community, cultural associations, spiritual organizations like Brahma Kumaris, Swati International in US are instrumental in making yoga popular in this country with such a huge expanse. After 2 years of pandemic, Embassy of India in association with Friends of Yoga will be celebrating again the International Day of Yoga in a big manner at Washington Monument on 18 June. Usually, since past many years, Brahma Kumaris and yoga associations, Friends of Yoga organizations in US have been supportive and have been drawing enthusiastic participation of Indian diaspora as well as American friends in the International Day of Yoga. So I urge you all to keep on, spreading the message of our ancient Indian cultural heritage in US. And I urge you all to participate in a big manner with friends and family on 18 June at Washington Monument. We have kept some flyers over here and there's a QR code on that scanner. Just by scanning that QR code, you will be able to register yourself to participate at Washington Monument. So please spread a word about it and have a nice day, have a nice weekend. Thank you very much again, Brahma Kumaris and Swati International for organizing this curtain raiser for Yoga Day this year. Thank you.
Now we're going to introduce Anchal, who is by profession specialized in IT and robotics. And she's been practicing Hatha Yoga for over 12 years and she is certified. As you can tell, when somebody's been practicing something for a long period of time, their sense of demeanor comes through in the practice. So I will turn it over to Anchal, who will go ahead and take us through this beautiful, rhythmic, old, ancient, but beautiful part of life called Hatha Yoga. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti and Namaste. So let's get started with our special session today. As we know, to maintain our well-being, it's very important to have a balanced mind and body. So in today's session, we're going to get familiar with some asanas and experience how these asanas help us improve our emotional wellness and also our physical strength. So before performing yogasana, there are some tips to follow. To achieve the final pose for each asana, focus on your spine and keep it straight, chest open and stomach in. Relax your body. It's important to relax the joints, especially your knees. Please be aware of your body and follow the session as per the body flexibility. So our first asana for today is going to be Tadasana, which is the palm tree pose. And I'd like to request everyone to please stand up to perform this asana. Now place your feet comfortably next to each other. Inhale and raise the arms upward. Interlock the fingers and turn the palms upward away from your body. Lift your heels and maintain this position for a few seconds by engaging all your muscles. The benefits of this posture: it helps correct poor posture, improve concentration and awareness, and also strengthens the feet, ankle, shin, and thighs. Our second asana is going to be Vrikshasana, or the tree pose. From your standing position, hold your right foot and place it under your left thigh muscle by bending your knee. You can also place your foot below the knee to maintain your posture, if that's easier. Now bring the hands to the prayer position in front of the heart. Maintain your position for a few seconds and repeat the steps for the other side. The benefits are that it increases concentration and helps improve the balance. It strengthens the leg muscles, and it can also help correct the symptoms of flat feet. So now we can move on to our next asana, which is Garudasana, or the eagle pose. From your standing position, bend your knees slightly and lift the left leg and cross it over the right leg above the knee. Next, engage your arms by twisting the outside of the left elbow around the right elbow. Gaze towards your hands as you breathe steadily. Now, untwist the arm and the leg. Repeat the same for the other side. The benefits of this asana are: it tones and straightens the thigh muscle, including the quadriceps, hamstring, and inner thighs. So let's now proceed to our next asana, which is Trikonasana, or the triangle pose. From your standing position, come into a wide stance with 3 to 4 feet distance between your 2 feet. Turn the right foot out 90 degrees and the left foot in 45 degrees. Now bring your right palm down to the ground and gaze upward. Now from this Trikonasana, we are going to transition into Virbhadrasana, which is also called as the warrior pose. For Virbhadrasana 1, inhale, and as you exhale, bring the arms up overhead while bending your left knee. Now join the palms as you straighten the arms. Bring your gaze up towards the palms. Now, smoothly transition to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Exhale and bend your right knee. Stretch the arm aligned with your right leg, and the left arm goes behind. Stay here for 30 seconds. Now let's move on to Virabhadrasana 3 or Warrior 3. When you feel balanced in this stance, lift your left leg by leaning forward and your leg straight behind you. Hold this pose for as long as you can, and then straighten up by bringing your leg back to the ground and your arms to the side. So we completed a cycle on the right, Trikonasana and 3 poses of Virabhadrasana. Now let's repeat this with the opposite leg. So while you're performing this, let me just share some benefits of these asanas. Trikonasana relieves digestive problems such as indigestion, gastritis, acidity, and it also strengthens the ankles. Virabhadrasana strengthens and stretches the calves, ankles, and shins. It expands the chest, stimulating the heart and lungs. It also helps enhance concentration and balance. So now we move to our next asana called Natarajasana or the dancer pose. From your standing pose, bend your right leg behind you and grasp the outside of your right foot. Now, lift your right leg and get it as high as possible behind the back. As high as possible and as comfortable as possible. Now raise the left arm up front and focus on your fingertips. Hold on to this position for as much time as possible and then slowly come down back to the initial position. This is half a circle. Now you can repeat this with your left foot. The benefits of this are that it helps improve balance and concentration. And it also helps enhance flexibility of the spine. Now let's sit comfortably in Sukhasana, which is a folded leg asana, and relax. Now Brother Errol will guide us in Raj Yoga Meditation. And as we all know, as Brother has explained, Raj Yoga Meditation is inside out. This also helps us bring harmony and peace in our life, in addition to the physical well-being. Om Shanti.
Now we've had a chance to stretch our physical bodies to cure us of so many things. We have forgotten most of these things, and we rely on other means to cure us. Another thing we've forgotten is that inside of me, I can find everything. So for a moment, you're going to continue to sit comfortably, and we're going to slowly take ourselves inside. Breathe naturally and normally. Think, I'm a human being I'm a being having a human experience. So I'm going to withdraw from these human experiences and connect to the essence of my being. Who am I? Ask yourself this question while sitting inside this human frame. Who am I? I'm an amazing, peaceful, loving being whose true nature is a giving one, whose true nature is love, whose true nature is the essence of peace itself. I am a happy being. Remember yourself in this way as you begin to practice the second session of movement. Remember who you are and the physical aspect of things can only be perfected once I spend time inside. Enjoy your beauty. Smile at yourself as you sit here, because you are peaceful. You are loving. You are truth. Now you're going to come out and look outward. And we'll continue the second part of the exercise.
So I'm sure Brother Errol guided us in such a beautiful, brief, short meditation that we feel recharged inside out. So now let's continue the second part of our yogasanas. Let's start with an arm stretch. We'll start with just a simple arm stretch. Bring your right palm on top of your right knee, fingers facing toward you. Try to keep the arms straight if possible. Now, slowly push down your upper body on the left knee. Rest here for a few seconds and come back to the position where you have started. Now let's do this with the other side. Left palm on top of your left knee, fingers facing toward you, and stretch to activate your nerves and muscles. Our next asana is the split leg asana. For this, split both legs apart and bend towards the right side. Try to touch your toes if possible, or you can just stretch if that's easier. Now slowly move towards the left foot and observe and experience the muscles as they shift in your lower back. Now come back to the basic pose and repeat this stretching from the left to the right side by gently moving your upper body. Now bring both your feet together and perform Paschimottanasana. Inhale and lift your arms up. Bend forward to touch your toes if your flexibility allows you. Feel the stretching and nerve activation from the toes to the top of your head. Stay here for some time and relax. To exit this pose, inhale and lift the torso. Bring the arms overhead and back down to your side. The benefits of this are that it relieves the lower back pain and also the feelings of anxiety and stress. Now the next asana is Marijasana. So let's transition from Paschimottanasana to Marijasana. From your seated position, lift your left leg off the ground by bending your knee and bringing your elbow over the left knee. Keep your left hand behind your back and extend your spine straight. Complete the twist by turning the head to the left and bringing the gaze to rest above the shoulder. Now, complete this twist by repeating the same steps for the other side of the body. The benefits of this asana, Marijasana, it flushes the abdominal organs, including the liver, kidneys, intestines, helps improve circulation, and relieves lower back pain. Now we come to our next pose, Marjarasana, or the cat pose. Come to a table pose and make sure that your wrists are aligned under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Inhale. And as you exhale, drop the head, press through the arms, and tug the tailbone under. Engage the abdominals to push all the air out of the lungs by squeezing the diaphragm and the abdominal muscles. The benefits of this Marjarasana, it provides a deep stretch for the back muscle, shoulders, necks, and arms. Now rest in Balasana, or the child pose, and give yourself some time to relax. Now let's perform the Ustrasana, or the camel pose. Come into a kneeling position with your knees hip width apart and the tops of the feet on the ground. Gently give support to your lower back by placing your hands on your waist. Stay in this position if the flexibility allows you. If not, you can continue to the next level. Push your upper body back to touch your heels. If you're unable to use both hands, you can just use one hand at a time to perform this asana. Push the hips forward, opening the chest and creating a deep arch in the back. The benefits of this asana. This is a full body stretch. It triggers all your muscles to get activated, and it improves the flexibility of the spine. Now sit in Vajrasana, which is a thunderbolt position, or Sukhasana, which is an easy pose. Now the next part of the yoga is going to be just an introduction, because this is an advanced level. So feel free to just watch and understand how the mind and body works together. Sister Achal will perform Kakasana, or the crow pose. Come to a squat position with your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Place your palms on the floor in front of you. Shift your weight forward and balance yourself on your arms. Maintain a fixed gaze as you prepare to balance. The benefits of this are it's an excellent core muscle strengthener and it improves balance. And last but not least, we come to our final asana called Shirshasana, balancing the body over the head. From the table pose, come down onto your elbows on the mat. Come into a squat position with your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Place your palms on the floor in front of you. Raise the hips and straighten your legs. Balance the load of the body with the front, face, head, and neck relaxed. And then slowly move down the knees and bring the feet down, and then put the toes back on the floor. Yes, let's give a big hand to Achal for the last two asanas that she performed so wonderfully. We truly hope you've enjoyed this session, and we hope to see you again in the next session. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Hello. Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining me today. And I would like to thank you, Brahma Kumari DC Center and also Indian Embassy for giving me this opportunity to show you some demonstration related to yoga. I would definitely encourage everyone to do yoga in your daily life. There are so many mental and physical things that you can, resolve by yourself. So everything comes within yourself and you have power to resolve it. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go into the final meditation, as Angel said, there is so many benefits in practicing just these. It may not be simple for me, but just by practicing these exercises, and over time, it becomes simple. It becomes natural, and it becomes part of you. And it's the same thing for Raj Yoga Meditation. It takes practice. For those individuals who are here between the age of 8 and 21, which is a lot of you, the beauty is that you have time and you've made a great start just by coming, just by being here. It shows that you care about your own personal development. Even if your parents has dragged you here, it still shows that you care about your own personal development. Because when you leave here today, you may not know it right now, but some of these techniques, not just of breathing and not just of the stretching, but most of all, learning to stretch your minds beyond the limitations of what people may think of you. because what people may think of you should not take hold of you. What you think of yourself and the blessings you have from your parents and family is the best thing ever. Always remember that for those of you who are younger. Because one thing I've realized in life, there is nothing more important. There's no better yoga than the blessings of your parents. It may be ordinary, it may be simple, but our biggest parent is God. And we do things based on His blessing. And based on His blessing, things happen in our lives. And it's the same thing for your physical parents. From their blessings, a lot of good things happens in your lives. You may not be able to see it now. You may not be able to understand it, but give it time. You will become your parents. And these blessings you would like to pass on to your own kids. So we'll sit now quietly and comfortably, and seeing that you finish the final pose. There's a different pose, and we'll begin from where we left off. Make sure you relax and breathe while you're sitting, because every single breath matters. Without breathing, we would leave this physical court. So make sure you breathe, and with every breath, give it an intention and a feeling, so that that breath, as you breathe in, performs the act of your intentions. As you exhale, exhale those intentions and feelings you do not want. Because we all have things that we do not want. But we hold on to them because we think if we give it up, we're giving up part of ourselves. So as you breathe in, if you're thinking about having peace inside, breathe in peace. Let that breath stay with you for a little while. Now exhale and breathe out peacelessness. Breathe in happiness. Because you're naturally happy and peaceful from within. So, have this nice, pure intention and take a good breath of happiness. Breathe out any unhappiness that you have. Now, breathe in love. Love for oneself. Because you cannot love those around you if you don't have this simple feeling that I love who I am, no one can love you as much as you love you. The love from the outside is temporary. And those who confess love to me may not be around in my most difficult or challenging moments in life. But if I love me, I'll be around. So breathe out any kind of negative thoughts you have of yourself or others have said to you, because you're loving, you're peaceful, you're happy, your life is built on good intentions and pure feelings. Lastly, we're going to breathe in success. Take a nice breath of success. And while you're breathing in success, it has nothing to do with finance. Success has nothing to do with the size of my house or the Tesla I drive or the money I have in the bank, because they're all temporary. Success is being able to recognize who I am, a soul, a beautiful, sparkling, radiant point of divinity. And those in front of me, among me, and those away from me are also souls, beautiful points of divinity, children of one Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. Reading that success, because when you know who you are, there is no failure in life. So sit with this consciousness for a minute. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. I thank everyone for joining us today. It's nice when we can all spend time in this quiet, tranquil atmosphere with each other. We wish our households would be quiet and tranquil. But we all have busy lives. Our kids are busy with school and soccer games or sports. But take some time out in your quiet moments of the day. Do some of the exercises you learned today. And as you do them, remember you're doing it for you. Because the more yoga you do for yourself, the more the atmosphere in your own home, your offices, and your personal lives will be better. But start off, always do for you first. It's like the flight attendant says, when the oxygen mask drops, put it on yourself first and then your child. The oxygen mask is our lives. If we want to live nice, calm lives and feel a sense of success, because we have everything, but yet we feel unfulfilled. Spend time with you. It's very important spending time with yourself, because the more time you spend with self, the more beautiful feelings you'll have for the family and those around you. Om Shanti. So if you can just stay in your position, I know. Remember the posture. Up here takes care of this. Because it's amazing. We call human beings, and we forget that we're morally a being having a human experience. And when the experience is finished in this one coil, I move on. I take another coil and continue to experience.